Trustee DeRocher here, and trustee Stahl is here, so the only trustee that's absent is trustee Fishka. Unless you've had any communication, Jason? No, okay, so there's no reason for approving a no attendance and participation, so do we have any public comments? Okay, any public comments that you know? No. Okay. So then we're moving on to review of the first draft of the fiscal year 27 working budget. So I will turn that over to Jason.
All right.
While you catch your breath, I'd like to say you did a great job on this. Your narrative is good. I remember how apprehensive you were the first time you had to do it. Look how well it's
Look at this now.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
Great job.
Getting there.
Thank you.
But you may or may not have noticed, but I've changed some of the format a little bit.
Mhm.
Oh, trying to make it a little easier to read. I don't know.
And the bigger font was much appreciated by those of us.
I didn't do that. I tried to work it. Before it was just, it was in the detailed one, it was just a big long line of all the various items, and I just decided to group them so that you can kind of tell which things were grouped with what a little easier. I don't know. It worked for me. I hope it worked for you.
Step out and just thread, we have a big piece of paper that's in a folder maybe somewhere.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Might also have a Christmas card.
Oh. It's more.
In the meantime, kind of. You want to-
Sorry. But no, that's okay. It's little on here. No,
Okay.
I just pursue. I read everything.
Okay.
I have notes.
So anyway, yeah, for our income, our total budgeted income at the moment is $2,720,324. So it's 90,000 change more than our current fiscal year. Most of that obviously is due to property taxes being always our biggest line of income. I think I got lulled in by the previous couple of years of the higher CPIs and our higher levy is when I guesstimated how much extra we might gain from growth. I over guesstimated. So when I got the extension in the email, the final tax extension in the email last week, I was like, oh, that's like 30,000 less than I was expecting. So that was disappointing, but I mean, it is still an increase, so which is great, but part of that is obviously it's fiscal year 23 and fiscal year 24, we were at the max, the PTEL limits of 5% because the CPI was like 6 point something whatnot.
Right.
So but now we're come back down, so the increases are getting a little less each year, but and I overestimated a little bit on the TIF district money that we would get this year. So by about $2,500. So I made a smaller estimate in increasing that for the new year. Our interest, we're doing really well with Illinois funds. The interest rate has come down in the last year, but not so much that I thought we could still, budget for a little bit of an increase in it. I didn't budget for as much as we have received this year because I still want to be cautious with it, but. And then our developer donations used to be a much bigger line. But last year it was empty. There was zero in the developer donation fund for the library. So this year, as of March 31st, the balance is $1,200. So I put that into the budget. So I don't know if that will increase moving forward. What with the Old Town development, I don't entirely know which types of developments create that developer donation contributions. So I'm not really certain. So I'm not necessarily counting on that ever going back up to the levels that we had when I started. So that I think you all have been. So that's at least, so some of our income streams are shrinking a bit as we move forward, even though we are still growing. I apologize, I don't feel like I'm explaining myself very well. Coming over cold, getting over cold, yeah. If I don't make sense, please interrupt and ask. Any questions about our income?
Well, income as far as interest in is kind of renewable. And I was looking at the amount that is going for debt repayment and wondering if we couldn't shift some of that income, which is renewable, into the debt repayment, which would reduce the going forward interest payment that we're required of. So we gained 2 weeks.
I don't think I'm understanding what you mean.
You said that we made a lot of money, where did he say that?
He means pay down on the
The
deficit.
the interest that you said was more than what you expected.
Oh, sure. Are you? Do you mean,
You said you got a budget surplus.
No, we have a deficit.
Yeah, we have a deficit.
There's a $36,000, I thought that was only.
It's a deficit.
Okay.
We had a deficit this year and
We-
we have a deficit
Yeah.
next year too.
we are over in what we expected in interest,
Because we changed accounts and we went to the Illinois, so we're making more
so
interest.
we're making more interest, overall, we are projected to make 40,000 more in income than we expected this year.
Okay, then instead of the 36 is 40,000. I was thinking that some of that could be diverted of that income that we're getting from that. That we could pay off our debt. And owe less in interest next year because we repaid part of the principal. And we're paying off the principal, not just,
Right, I can look into that.
We discussed that before. We discussed it, and the extra money, rather than paying it into that, would be better to put aside in case the boiler or something goes out. Because the interest rate we have on that is cheaper than what we would get now.
Yes, I remember
We
that.
did discuss.
So if we do have to take out a loan, if the boiler goes out and we have to take out a loan, we're gonna be paying a higher interest rate.
okay, well, that's good.
I think it's good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But we have this year, 2027, 28, and 29, and then we should be done with our debt.
Right.
So
We're almost there.
I knew that.
hold your horse.
Okay, we'll give you where we can balance those. Well, we dream of how we're gonna balance the debt.
All right, did you have any questions, Erica, about, I know, it's
Yeah.
your first budget, so,
Yes, and I am afraid I arrived late, so I'm so sorry about that.
no problem. Any
Um,
questions about the income? So far?
I was just gonna ask about debt, which where I can find it.
Oh, sure, from the expenditures
Yes.
portion, yeah, so it's one of the last lines. The debt is, the library renovated back in 2017, 2018, and freshened it up, rearranged everything, tore down some walls, rearranged rooms, built study rooms,
New carpet.
new carpeting, painting,
Fix
LED lighting,
The bathrooms.
Yeah.
bathroom, various things. So at that time, we did not have to go out to referendum, but we did take on a debt, a loan, and so I had debt
Was
payment.
it's bonds, we ended up doing a bond issue. So that's what we're paying back is the bonds.
And how much, and what is the amount?
Oh, what's remaining?
Yes, what's remaining?
I think isn't that the 171, 741?
I think. Well,
Yes.
that's what we.
That is what we will pay this year,
Oh, okay.
for fiscal year 27. So I think it's like 800,000 or 900,000 some left, I think. So,
We're doing good.
So yeah, I believe we make 2 interest payments during the year and 1 principal payment,
Okay.
so. But I believe that, I think it's 2029. December
That's not right,
2029, that is our
Mhm.
last payment, I believe, unless it was
It
2030.
sounded very far away when we first
I
did
was just
it.
gonna
But we're getting,
say
it
2018.
sounded far away when I started, and here we are 3 years along, and now it's feeling like it's getting kind of close, so. All right, the expenditures. So like I said at the beginning of my narrative, I had higher hopes. For this year, I was hoping to whittle down our deficit. I was hoping to have potentially maybe larger raises and potentially increase some of the insurance benefits. But, we had a couple staff change their coverage and a couple staff that I anticipate will change the coverage in the coming year. And then insurance averaged went up by 14% January 1st.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm
That's small.
given all the struggles with the ACA and whatnot, I have budgeted in a 15% increase January 1st, 2027, and I'm still slightly worried that that is not budgeting enough, which seems crazy to me. So anyway, so that accounted for $47,000 of increase, which made it harder to plan for some of the other things or bring down the rents. So at the moment, we are increasing the deficit by the
25,000.
yes.
Which is a lot.
What was that?
That's not bad.
It's not bad, no, but I wanted to go the other direction.
I know,
So,
some things, it's a budget.
so I don't know where you want to start with. If you want to start with salaries or insurance or just the overall general highlights.
I think we should just keep going.
Now let's do the wages and benefits.
Okay.
Well, that IMRF rate, it's really just.
Yeah.
Exponential.
So IMRF, in case you don't remember, is the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund. And that is the retirement fund that the library pays into for staff. So every year they adjust their rate, library by library. To account for, I assume they have actuaries working on it, but based on who is taking retirement, who's getting closer to retirement, all those sorts of things. I don't know what all of do, but I'm going to guess potentially maybe has to do with the fact that Sandy retired. So now we've bumped back up, but like I said there, it has been going up each year. So I budgeted for 12% come January 1st. And that hikes things a little bit because that is dependent on wages, obviously. So here's hoping it's not that much, but I wanted to plan for that trend in case it does continue. So, so for salaries, cost of living, the Social Security COLA increase this year was 2.8%, up from 2.5% last year. And then the 12-month rolling CPI for January 2025 was 2.9%, and that's the number that we used when we did the 2025 levy, which is the tax money that we are using for the fiscal year 27 budget that we're working on. So, so with that in mind, the budget is currently using is a 3% overall increase for staff. The other option is a 4%, or the other option is a 2%. So I was trying to pick the middle of the road, one that didn't hurt the deficit so much, but it was given that the cost of living increase is 2.8%. I was hoping to have our cost of living increase plus the merit increases. So I had hoped for the 4% to be able to make that happen like we did last year. But just with, like I said, with the insurance costs having gone up, it seemed a little bit harder to do without increasing our deficit. So I landed with the 3% overall. So, and my options for that were two choices of either doing a 2% COLA increase plus an up to 1% merit increase, or for a year to try and address that COLA number, would just do a 3% across. COLA increase. So
And the difference between option one and option two, as you pointed out, is $16,500. You do not feel there's any shaving anywhere else on some of the line items you could do to make that a smaller number or even eradicate that number?
shoot, oh, well, I mean, it would still be higher, but you
But there's
mean
a difference between option one and option
not
two.
you mean to not raise the deficit by another
Yeah,
$60,000?
Right.
Okay. That is a good question. I can keep playing with it and tweaking it. I can think of,
This is not that big of a number.
no,
And,
well, I mean, we're still gonna be raising the deficit,
yes.
even with option one.
Right,
Right.
but I'm just trying to think, when it's under 20 grand, maybe there's a way we can shave a little bit, or even there, we just shave it, but stand on a higher level.
so the most obvious place to shave some would be with professional development, which budgeted for, it doesn't necessarily immediately look like it, but we had a big year this year with PLA and then ALA and ILA both being in Chicago, so it seemed, time to take advantage of it being local. So I think I shaved roughly $7,000 off professional development for fiscal year 27. But we're still budgeting for 3 people to go to ILA, 2 people to go to ALA, and a couple other small conferences. So I could certainly shave that back, and that would save us the money. I like that we're able to send staff to conferences and things, but that is certainly a place where we could save some money if we wanted to go that
It's
route.
just a thought. I don't want to take away from, it's kind of hard to choose because professional development is important.
Yes, I was gonna say that.
It just seems like somewhere on some line, 2,000 here, 3,000 there might work. Maybe could.
I can keep playing with it if everybody,
Well, I don't know, that's just my opinion. Because it doesn't seem like it would be.
We go back on the number of library cards in order.
well, the last time we ordered was in 2021.
Right, that's what
So-
I'm saying, like if we order fewer library cards.
I suppose that's possible. I don't know what the quotes were. I know it gets, the cheaper per card.
Right.
The
Yeah.
more number you order. Yeah. But I can certainly keep playing with it for another month and see if I can shave down
Well, if that, again,
to make that happen.
that's just my opinion, I don't know that the
It's,
rest of
I
the
think it's a
board.
good, I think it's a very good thought, if we
Right.
can, shave here and there, not all in one place.
That's my point, I
Yeah.
don't think it should be all in
I mean,
professional.
certainly, it's important to send staff to professional things.
Yeah.
It's not so important to send trustees to the things. So, that'd be a first place. Have you budgeted for trustees?
I
Yeah.
did, for the ILA trustee day,
Yeah,
and then I think the usuals like the Conai dinner and
That'd be a pretty easy thing.
so trustee meetings this year is only $1,150.
Okay, well,
This,
it's 1,000.
the current year, this year, right now, it's $4,300, so. Because there's stops. Local ILA, local ALA, and PLA,
Right.
it came down like that, so.
Well, that's why like too, it's important if trustees commit to go to one of these events, that they show up because that's where it costing us money.
So what I'm hearing is, it sounds like you were in favor of supporting staff and me working on trying to make it so that we could do the 4% overall
Correct.
increase.
Yeah.
If we,
Let's make that happen.
yeah, if we can make it happen without jeopardizing the integrity of any of the other lines.
Right.
I love you all. You're great.
No, I'm not right for church.
You don't need no stinking meeting.
Okay. I will work on that for next month, for sure. But. Okay. Any other thoughts about salaries or anything?
So hard. Well, we're going on to health insurance here, so,
We can, sure.
I'm in favor of, number two, of, part-time. Employees, dental and vision if we can, just because another incentive for part-time employees to keep and retain them. So, and I understand that we may have to push off a year of the 100% of the PPO. So,
When you say number two, are you talking about the second bullet point?
Yeah.
yeah, second bullet point.
Well.
I don't know how everybody else feels about that. That had just been a thought that I had in my head. Talked with Ian a bit and.
I do like
Again, it's
offering that.
What was that?
I do like the idea of offering that to part-time people.
I don't
It is
think-
something.
I don't think that gets offered very often for
No.
part-time people, so.
It doesn't, no, my concern in any case will be because part-timers do not make a lot of money hourly. That it, instead of being a positive, it will be like a negative. So what I wanted to ask is, if there is an issue with the keeping the part-timers, and if there is, what are their complaints or what are they saying when they leave?
Oh, our retention has been better lately unless it's somebody just moving for a full-time job.
Yeah.
And usually that has been because they want benefit, insurance.
Okay,
So-
so that's why there's.
That's at least one person I can think of, that left last year. I don't know what day it is, I don't know what year it is. But I think, again, all the things that you all did right before I got here and continued to help support us in doing, is I think the retention has gotten a lot better, so.
So neither of these two bullet points do not have either of these things added.
Right, neither of those are in the budget.
One thing I really think we need to think about is you can rightly still budgeted a 15% increase. But I'm concerned that, as you have expressed, may not even be sufficient to
Yeah.
cover the premium increase.
It should be more than sufficient, but I'm worried that it's not.
And I don't, that number scares me.
I mean, I definitely agree with adding all of that, definitely, for the part-timer, just going back a little bit. My only concern is going to be if it's, instead of being like a positive, it will be like a negative because of what's gonna be taken out from the payment. At least that's how I will see it. If I wanted to, whenever I look up to be a part-timer or something like that. How much I'm gonna be end up taking back home after all deductions.
That's a valid point.
Well, the idea would be that the library would be covering it.
The library is going to be covering everything.
Yes, well, so we participate in Limerick, which is a big co-op of
Okay.
insurance. A bunch of libraries,
Mhm.
so through them, currently anybody on part-time is eligible to out of pocket themselves pay for dental, vision, or life insurance.
Yeah.
Or any of the weird supplemental Aflac sort of things. For whatever reason, they don't allow part-timers to partake in the medical insurance, the little medical insurance. So my idea for this was, I mean, it's cheaper than the full medical, but we can't do the medical anyway, offer that for part-timers, but the idea was paying for the dental, vision, and life.
Got it. Okay, no, that makes sense.
So yeah, I wouldn't want to add it only for it to be something actually getting taken out of.
Oh, okay.
Take that.
Like I
I
said,
mean, one way or another, they can opt into, I mean, maybe they have partners working elsewhere and they're already on insurance, so they don't need it, but. So I didn't really, this is the $4,200 of the. And that's for the second half of the, so for half a year, so next year, then that would be
So,
9,000. But it was a rough estimate because I don't know
Well, I'm,
how many would take spouses or would take family. This was purely just employee only.
I really don't know how we can prioritize this over the COLA thing, discussion we just had. I mean, we would have to backtrack and go back to the 3% COLA and not even consider the 4% COLA then. We were gonna do this. And then we would also have to have that consideration about the insurance. And whether or not we think that 15% amount is enough. And if we don't think it's enough, then we should probably not be talking about any of this.
One thing, well, when we're talking about the 4%, it's a 2% COLA plus 2% merit, so it's not 4% COLA that we're talking about.
You're right, you're right.
And again, it doesn't mean that everybody's gonna get the 2% merit for a total of 4 either.
No,
But the
but,
budget number is
Right,
there,
yeah.
that Jason's figured that out and it being.
and it's quite a high percent that get.
So my question regarding the insurance for part-time, I said, I know you said the goal was that the library would pick it up. But that simply depends, the 4,500 number depends on whether or not all the employees, part-time employees that are eligible for it take it, is that correct?
That just makes them eligible.
Okay, so in other words, we'd have to pay the 4,500 regardless of whether it's 1 employee or 10 employees, for example.
No, the $4,500 was my best guesstimate on every single part-time employee picking up employee only insurance for dental, vision and life.
Okay,
So it is based on the number of people that opt in.
Correct.
Oh.
So once I was seeing. Once I got the levy numbers in and my excitement shrank. I took this out of the equation. Otherwise, my plan had been to. Try and map out what it would look like if a third of the part-timers just did employee only, a third did spouse only, and then a third did family, to see what that did to this number. So I don't know, again, not knowing, because a spouse or kids or family can add quite a bit. And I would think we would want to offer it in the same way that we're offering it full-time. And that we would cover half of any family.
so then would it make,
So I don't know whether that might make this number higher, but again, I don't, without having done the survey.
Yeah.
Among staff, I don't even know who. Would take it, or if they, like I said, if they already are covered and they wouldn't need it. So I was just spitballing, it was.
so is this something we can do the survey to report back on the next month to see what the numbers would be? Because again, I know you're estimating 4,500, but if it turns out, say 10,000, then maybe that's something that obviously the budget couldn't cover. But would you have the results that soon? I mean, that's, I guess I would like to, but when what you're saying, it's possibly the numbers may be a lot higher, then maybe we can't do it this year.
Right. I could do that, or I could at least try and map out more people taking the various
Yes,
types of
that's.
coverage.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I know staff may be reading this anyway. I'd be a little loath to survey all the part-timers, say, would you take insurance, get their hopes up,
Right.
and then say, no, sorry, we can't afford that after all.
Just kidding.
I mean, I was already a little leery putting it in the packet.
You could always, you have the, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, if you have the option, would you? It doesn't have to be like, if we are actually going to be offering, just like in a hypothetical scenario. But
Maybe that's a survey next year if we don't proceed this year.
I mean, if we're wanting to try and aim for the 4% salary increase overall. And we're already needing to shave here and there to make that happen, then maybe this isn't viable this year, but if.
yeah,
I think that.
What I'm hearing is, it sounds like you all are at least interested and supportive of this idea, so we could always
Okay,
Yeah.
here's
work
the-
on that for next
here's the
year.
bottom line for me. I'm interested and I'm supportive to try to support the employees in the best way that we possibly can. That's been shown over and over
Mhm.
in the past. However, we have constraints and the employees and staff have to know that we have to make these decisions.
Yeah.
By what's on the paper in front of us. So are we gonna go 3%? Are we gonna go 2%? Are we gonna go 4%? And are we gonna make these other health and other insurance decisions based on those other decisions that we have to make? So if you're gonna survey them, even if it gets their hopes up, it's gonna come down to what can we afford and what's the best thing for the overall picture. I think basically people are gonna understand that. Even if it gets their hopes up, it's gonna be like, oh, well, couldn't do it this year. Oh darn,
Yeah, just because.
we didn't have it before.
I'm just gonna say that.
You know?
We need to consider both of these ideas in conjunction with the next year and do the necessary surveys.
And
Have you benchmarked other libraries? Do they offer this? And if so, what's their rate of participation?
It really doesn't matter
There's-
what other libraries are doing. We're trying to do our best.
I would be interested to know
Well,
where other libraries,
I-
if they offer these things.
I think that the bottom line is we need more information, we need more numbers, and because, for example, how many part-time employees are currently working right now? How many are per department? How many hours are they doing in the average or something like that? We need more information.
Cause like, I think the other thing too that I wanna say is that. I do want to be able to increase employee retention, but I know that again, we have to fight against what we have to deal with, in terms of what our actual numbers are, you know, they have to be survivable.
We have to live within our means.
Yeah.
We
It's
do.
just like being, there's a lot of things you want, but you can't afford them all at once to work into some of these things.
Cause I guess if there's any way, even if we don't consider doing any of these insurance changes, if there was any way through to find out too, if we offered this, what, you know, what the employees would like to see, if it's something where say, well, we don't care about dental or vision, then there's really no point in offering it. Or if it's something where would we have more people take the PPO option if we were paying it? You know, and I don't know if there's really a good way to get that, take the temperature as it were, to find out what the options are.
But I think if there is, it's definitely something we should pursue. And at the same time, I might ask, are there any other benefits that you are aware of? So we as a board are educated about what employees might be looking for, other than a COLA or a wage increase.
So,
Or insurance.
Well, those are pretty basic.
and savings are probably the basic biggest thing.
People wanna get a paycheck and they wanna get insurance.
Right, but what I'm saying is too, is even looking to, because the other thing is throughout the year. If we can prepare for what might be coming in the future, cause I mean, I know with going to the different. Trustee things and listening to what they talk about as to what employees appreciate, cause. I think it was Connie, when you and I went to that one and listening to what they talked about with the time off.
That's what I said.
And so some of it, again, having more, I think we've taken huge steps in terms of that, in terms of the leave. But there might be other things that we're not aware of,
That's what
other
I'm saying.
options that would help out the employees.
And
Rather than just money.
just to weigh in, I do like that it's on the horizon, it's on the thought process. I agree with Barbara. You know, sometimes you have to put off some things to stay in your family budget, whatever the size of your family, a library or home. But we do have something on the horizon, and that is the big paid off loan. And I know, you know, when you're budgeting, you'll have a little bit of a cushion room where we could expand some of our benefits. Someplace, that would be a real nice reward, even next year, because you know, within a year, you're not gonna have that other payment that's 20, so and it'll just be a little chunk compared to what that is.
You mentioned that you were afraid that the budget of 15% might not be enough. And I think we've got a geopolitical situation going on that we can't forecast. And if we make these larger plans then we're gonna have to walk something back, and that's worse than not offering it at all.
That's a good point, Rick.
That's true.
The electric
Good
rates have been
observation.
skyrocketing too.
Well, solar panels.
But
Yeah,
soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, but no, that's a good point, the. Whether it's salaries, which is a good thing, or whether it's insurance being, a good benefit, but a negative cost, like. It compounds, right? So went up 14% this year, if it goes up 15% next year, like. That's again a big jump, and then the next percentage increase is based on that
Right.
new number, so you're right, we don't know what
It's been doing
current
this.
world
We're
events.
all-
That's the trick of doubling a penny every day for 30 days. You
Right,
wind up with not enough money in the.
so. Yeah, so I think. I feel like probably as a whole, staff would appreciate the slightly bigger raise increase rather than small increases in the insurance benefits. I could be wrong, but that would be my guess. But yeah, but I like that you all are supportive of this idea. Figured I'd throw it out there just because I liked the idea, and you all seem super supportive and staff in this way, so I wanted to try and capitalize on it and see what y'all
I
thought.
want to see it disappear right now. I
Okay.
do want to see it. Chair, what did you say? I do not want to see the proposal disappear from our radar.
Thank you.
I mean, it's to a positive note is that none of your proposals included a 0% increase.
Oh,
Seriously,
No, there are.
we have
Still
been
a lot
down
of
that
places
road
that are
before
doing
and we are not there. So yay, 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 yay. Okay.
And there are places that are still at 0%.
Well, some of those items are mandates. They're not freebies or generosity or nice to have or something you're paying.
Yeah,
So whether we pay them, they pay them, somebody else pays them, they cannot get paid.
Yeah.
So that's something that can't be forgotten. And these things compound.
but yeah, definitely, I do not want to get to the zero,
right.
so.
Well, I think Rick's idea about things happening and having to walk back something. I don't want to be in that
Right,
position.
yeah, definitely not. I mean, it's one thing to say we can't do it this year rather than, having to say, oh, we were good, taking it away.
So we're still in a pretty healthy position, so let's move forward.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I will leave insurance alone for this year, but keep it on the radar for next year
Please.
and maybe do some more research. But I will work on tweaking the budget so that we can make the 4% raises happen without incurring too much flood debt. Great, thank you. Otherwise, other highlights. We already talked a little bit about professional development, public services. Barbara's favorite item.
Yes, I would love to take it out of the equal cupola.
You know, I'd be okay with that if it means people can get a raise. I'd be okay with that.
Well, so the problem with hoopla is that the more popular it gets, the more expensive it is.
I know.
And you remember last year we
So
tried,
Joe should just stop using it.
I was gonna say,
it's one of those, when we were at the conference, I don't know if you saw
Yeah, I don't
it,
use
and Paul and I saw it, but like they had one of those. They had electronic banners, promoting all the various vendors and whatnot, and then with hoopla, like, what was the phrase?
The most cost effective.
Yeah, most cost effective ebook month. And I went. Because. Maybe in some ways, because it's not the other model where, you pay 80 bucks for an ebook, whereas if you bought it off on Amazon for yourself, you paid 20.
Right.
But also the more popular it gets, the more expensive it is for us, and that's not a cost effective model. So, anyway. Soapbox. But this year we budgeted 36,000 for hoopla, and we are going to be over that. We are averaging $3,400 a month. So I bumped it up $6,000 to be the 42,000.
It's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have. It is. But so it's one of those, you remember last year, I think it was last year, we tried that for 1 month, that solution of putting the monthly cap on our spending. And I think there must have been something wrong with their programming and executing that cap, because people were saying like, it's 12:30 AM and I've already hit the cap for the day. And I'm like, so that was not
That's part of it.
an option. We don't want to do that again. So otherwise, we did lower the, so Hoops's got all the various items have, like a $1.99 cost, a $2.99 cost, a $3.99 cost for item checkout. We lowered it to, do you remember, Paul? $2.99 is our cap. So if there's an item on there that costs $3 or $4.99 to check out, you are not seeing that as an option for you to check out because.
That's all right.
So, which is disappointing, but at least you don't see it, whereas the other route we took was making all sorts of people unhappy, which was making the adult desk unhappy. So we don't want to go that route, so, but then the problem with that means we have to budget enough to actually be able to pay for the use that's good, so. So otherwise, I would agree and be like, oh, we could just not increase that so much, but if we don't want to go down that same disaster trip option that we tried, we have to budget enough for it.
And is there any update on that legislation?
Not that I've heard.
It's gonna move as slow as a snail. Alrighty.
Let's see. You mentioned library cards. Last time we ordered library cards in 2021, so we need to order a new batch of library cards.
Yeah.
So some of the other both big increases and decreases.
Wait,
Yeah,
Toby. Did we ever, and maybe this is on the list, did we ever investigate digital library cards?
no,
I'm just wondering if that could be cost effective at some level. I know nothing about that, but I think of all the things we have that all we do is pick up our phone and hand it to somebody.
well, so now, I
Yes.
think we talked about it in the fall.
Yes.
Swan. Hired. Added on a new company to do online library card sign up. We had a version of that before, but it was like super light version. Whereas it only. That you couldn't use it for anything other than digital things, and we didn't do hardly any verification of who you were, so you could be getting that digital library card from Florida. And we
I just was curious.
so that their new company that they're using, Patient Point, does a robust verification. So then you get a digital library card. But then you don't get a physical card unless you come in and you want to trade your number in to get a card. But so some people have been taking advantage of that.
As long as it's something I offer, I'm sorry, I was probably.
Then we can, I would certainly promote that more, and then maybe fewer physical library cards get used, but I think there's still a lot of people who. They have that as a part.
Right.
Well, especially kids, I mean, when,
I'm just,
yeah. I mean, I
But in the
know,
grand scheme of things, like. Well, we added $3,000 for it, and that's probably gonna last us the next, what,
5 or 6 years.
6 years, so
I know.
in the grand scheme of things, it's a pretty. We switched, Jackie and Lee investigated. Landscape and snow companies, and so we switched companies. So the landscaping is a little bit more expensive, but we think we're gonna save at least $6,000 in snow removal.
Oh, yay.
The salt is
Good job,
ridiculous.
Jackie.
I'm so glad. I don't know if other people complain, but it was.
Well,
Yeah,
It was just, even the guy that came in to do this and got the job, he said, oh my God, he said the salt that they use.
Yeah.
The part.
which was really encouraging to know that he thought they were using too much salt, so
Signing concrete.
DuPage Landscape,
Just curious.
they're doing both. You have to do both with them if you're gonna.
Yeah,
have
most of
both.
them are that.
And that's okay, they've already.
and they
He's very happy.
So they're
Well, as long
overall,
as Lee's happy.
so they could do, rather than plowing and shoveling per visit, they did a per
A
season.
contract.
So overall, hopefully that should be cheaper. They're still gonna charge for the salt, but they charge for the amount of salt used rather than per visit. So I think, given the comments that he made and he asked some questions about it, I think we're gonna get a lot less salt used. So hopefully even the number we budgeted for is hopefully still too high, but you never know, it's hard to predict the weather.
Yeah.
And there is no threshold on the unlimited. They'll just continue to plow. We get snow every day in January and February.
So a lot,
It's a good.
and it was a cheaper price than I was expecting, way cheaper, because I know there's per visit or there's the season. And if you don't get much snow, per visit might be great.
Right.
If you get lots of snow, a seasonal cost is great, but I
It's
had-
gonna be the salt that will add up.
I had been laboring under the impression that a seasonal contract was gonna cost way, like thousands and thousands more than what they're charging us. So
And do they
I was really happy.
have a snowfall limit, or will they plow for an inch, or does it have to be two?
It's an inch, starts at an inch, that's what we.
I think most of them are.
That's good for a public,
How many times did they come out, did you say?
unlimited.
No, how many did they?
Oh, dispatcher,
Yes.
Too many.
too many. But it was a hard bills to digest. Because there's a charge for plowing the parking lot, a charge for shoveling the sidewalk, a charge for salting the parking lot, a charge for salting the sidewalk. So we get essentially four charges for every time it snowed. And so seeing that big long invoice was kind of painful, so I'm excited about this change. And hope it's gonna be,
Is that, like, say if they have to come out in the morning and then because the amount of snow, they have to come out again, like in the afternoon, or is that? I mean.
That would be part of the unlimited part.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's why it's so.
whereas the company we had,
Right, that's.
they would come out again, but we then get charged four
Yeah,
more
one more time.
charging
Okay, that's,
for
yeah.
all four
Oh,
of those things.
that's expensive. Yeah, just think, yeah,
So.
yeah, I like the unlimited thing.
So we've been generally getting less snow overall, but I think this is still, the weather's more volatile.
Right.
For what
There's
it's
a little
worth,
bit more
the
ice coming
Conservation
down.
Foundation offers 2 trainings for small service providers, landscapers and whatnot. One is called Salt Save on how to do responsible distribution, and the other one is on, like not using neonicotinoids and poisons on the air and things like that. And, it's for landscapers, for cities and park districts, organizations like that. I'll be glad to share the information with them. I'm wondering, it would be a feather in our cap. And there's a certification. If DuPage landscapers are certified in those two, I think that would be nice to know, like, hey, they're certified.
We can pass it on to them. I can't.
Yeah.
They may already be, I mean, they may very well be among the good guys.
So that would be one thing if we ever have to look at companies again to find out if they are certified and before we take consideration.
But I'm excited about it, and I appreciate that that they should have checked into it. I was horrified, and I didn't want to be like a big complainer, but
It was. I'd come
We
to
were all horrified.
drive in the parking lot and be like, what happened to all the Smurfs? It was a massacre. So one big place we saved, was with, consultants. So we don't have any consultant costs
Thanks to you.
in general.
Thank you.
You saved us so much for the issue.
And thanks to Kathy and David.
Yeah,
Just talk to yourself, is that, you don't need any consultant?
David is doing a lot of lifting. So,
oh yeah, the website.
but I mean, Communico was, I was happy that they, built us this site. It's not quite as clear cut as we hoped it was gonna be, so hence David needing to learn a lot more and put in some effort, so.
David's amazing.
But I was surprised, I tried to be fair and honest and argue the point, but I didn't argue it far because I didn't want it to get horse in the mouth, but we somehow managed to get locked into our current
yeah.
price of $6,000 for the next 3 years.
Oh,
Which I
nice.
thought we were gonna go up to 7,500 because of we jumped over 15,000 population. But apparently because we renewed the contract, oh, and they were also changing their pricing model because they are updating all of their modules.
It's like T-Mobile.
And so it would have been even more, I think it would have been $8,000 or $8,500. But we somehow managed to squeak in and get grandfathered in at our $6,000 for the next 3 years, so I was just like, great. But yeah, no, less things to be and more things to David and Kathy for the amount of work that they're doing, so.
Oh, no, but you did the strategic plan. That's what I would find.
Yeah.
Oh, that,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Because that would have been a huge expense. Staff consultants do that.
For that, sure, well, that and all the staff, and did not do it alone. Committee, a lot of people helped with the surveys, with the, what do you call them, focus groups, and all of that, so.
Everyone involved should be,
A group effort.
no, they're appreciated.
So yeah, so we had, other than the usual, auditor and the monthly accountant. Our contract consultant fees were. Zeroed out this year.
Out of curiosity, I think we've used the same accountant for quite a while.
Mhm.
Have we ever, not that I'm saying there's anything wrong, but have we ever?
When I retired, I didn't get rid of one.
I'm just saying, because there's other.
Oh,
people
oh,
doing
yeah.
that.
Something to keep in mind for.
That's,
He's great.
So before going on to special reserve, anybody have questions about the corporate expenditures budget?
I don't think we can. But I'm glad you're going to be exploring the EV charging and the solar panel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
explore away.
So yeah, so for special reserve funds, thankfully this year, because we have been underspending, we have not been hitting that deficit that we've been budgeting for, which is great. So we transferred in the fall $125,000 to special reserve, which is great and needed. So for this coming year, I budgeted more than we had budgeted this year, but thankfully this year it's gonna come in way under because the radon mitigation was much cheaper. I really had no idea what to expect, so I think I budgeted 50,000 for that and then currently 11,000 and change. Well, at the meeting, we'll talk about the testing, so maybe a couple thousand more, but regardless, way under 50,000. But anyway, so the biggest costs are some of the carryover for furniture purchases, which we may or may not do this year. We may squeeze them in before the end of the year. Duncan's got some big ticket IT automation items that we keep budgeting for and they keep surviving, yay, but should they fail, then we will need to buy a new things, so that's expensive. So fingers crossed
Keep
that
surviving.
that they keep surviving.
I feel like me, just keep surviving.
It's
Waiting.
So then we've got the backflow system for the sprinkler system. There's a big set of pipes, pumps down there that are starting to leak, so we want to replace those this year, which is expensive. And then because of all that salting, sadly, we think the sidewalk right up on the lower level there along the windows and the brickwork right next to it are either pockmarked or the brick is crumbling that says we want to look into fixing that. So
Was the sprinkler system ever part of the renovation? Were there any upgrades done on it then?
we don't know.
I'm sure if they were needed, it would have been done.
Just curious.
I'm assuming you rearrange some walls, right?
Yeah.
But other
Oh,
than
yeah.
that, I'm assuming the location in the ceiling of the sprinkler system probably didn't change much, but I don't know that for sure.
Just curious, because if we did spend a lot of money at that time, it'd be unusual.
so I just wanted to go back to the furniture for a second. I know we talked about at some point about some of the cushions may have been replaced on some of the seating, so that's in this year's budget or since the next
We
year?
are in the middle of getting them reupholstered right now.
Okay.
She's been had to set up in his office wearing his spare time.
But it was in this year's budget and not, it's not in this next year's budget.
On the automation, replacement of staff printers. Are we buying these or should we be leasing them or what would we be able to do? It seems that.
We're
One-
buying them, but they're more the smaller individual printers. For the most part, when staff can, they print to the larger
That's what I was.
photocopiers, the kind of Minolta copiers, because the maintenance and the supplies are part of our contracts. Or if we've already paid it off, then we're just paying the monthly maintenance and supply thing, which isn't very much, so. But there's just occasional, like, add a desk or, now I'm blanking on where, but we have just a couple just smaller individual printers.
At the main areas though.
Yeah, Member Services has one, I think, yeah, all three service desks, I believe, have one. Where else?
They don't, I guess when you look at the offices, everybody doesn't have a printer at their desk there, do they?
No, because but I think for each of the two pods. There's the pod of the services pod where everybody sits in their cubicles. I think there's one printer for that area. One printer for the adult services.
I don't want the.
I have one, but I always just send it to the main copier.
You get them from Office Depot or something like that? Or?
Yeah, we good.
Okay.
So, and then some of the exploratory things, some of which I put into the budget, some of which I did not. You can see there at the end there is part of the strategic plan for these things to look into them, but one was the 24/7 holds pickup lockers.
Yeah.
Whether that is here at this location and or somewhere else in the community, possibly over, I'm forgetting my town, Summer Lakes area over that way might be a good thing. I went to three different vendors.
Returning it too.
Yeah, so they've stopped by three different booths at PLA and picked up information. So their locker units also have return things. There's one company that said, oh, the return wasn't big enough, so we have a separate unit, but you had to either scan the barcode of the item, or if you had an RFID, then could waive it, but then it would unlock the return so that you didn't just have random teenagers, as I pick on them, throwing trash into the book return. So you'd actually have to scan the barcode of your book to unlock it, to be able to return your item.
That's sort of like, there's a compost system in New York City that it looks like a mailbox kind of. And you have to scan a code in order to put an apple peel in there or something, or whatever. To prevent kids from throwing whatnot, those things, exactly.
But that over by like Summer Lakes, or by the grocery store would really help, people over there, they could get online, request the book. Go there, get it, return the book.
Yeah.
Make it a little bit easier for people over that way,
So they were,
or kids.
I like that you said the grocery store, in a way, it would
Yeah.
drive some traffic to a beloved local business that we hope makes it. Mhm.
so the rough, quote, for the basic lockers was, I think, 30 to 35,000. So I budgeted for a here location and an elsewhere location, roughly. But again, this is the thing that requires, where's a good spot for it? What is the workflow? Because that involved a whole lot of workflow changes for
Yeah.
services,
Yeah.
Lori. Especially if there's a different location, then how many times a day or how many times a week are we driving to a different location to refill holds? So there's a lot of things to consider. And then just wanting to thoroughly vet the different companies and then what are the ongoing costs? Like, we can buy the unit, install it,
Sure.
but then there's insurance potential, but there's also potentially annual software or maintenance costs as well, so that adds to the regular budget as well. There's a lot of things to consider, but I threw it into the special reserve budget for this year, just in case, but I don't actually anticipate having done all that research and come to a decision and be ready to purchase something by the end of fiscal year 27. But I just figured I'd throw it out there just in case.
So work in progress.
Work in progress. And then additionally, as a couple of you have already commented on, wanted to explore potentially putting in an EV charging station, either down below or up here on Stafford. The potential to explore solar panels.
I think the solar panels will be a priority.
That would help reduce our bill.
Yeah,
So I think I like exploring that sooner rather than the EV, but I know the city has their EV readiness program or something, so.
I would like EV charger downstairs. So it would be more people using the library using it rather than up here.
Oh, yeah, that makes,
That's true.
that makes a lot of sense.
Because especially with the townhomes
Yeah.
down here.
Yeah, they can.
But I don't know, and I don't know if there are grants out there for that, or I know there are grants for solar power.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are a customer of EBSCO, which is a big library company, and they offer grants for solar power. But it's once a year, so it's a matter of lining up I've got all my information and our quotes and whatnot, so that I can then potentially apply for some grants to get some money as well. But for both of these items, I really don't know squat about them. And so it's
My
a
mother
learning
said-
curve of going out there and learning what all the items are and how it works and all of that, so.
For the EV charging, you have to make sure we have enough voltage. You know, enough capacity coming in from time, you know, from the electric, and we have one in our garage.
That'd be pay for use, wouldn't it? Insert a card, you get an hour's worth of charge or something like that.
I think so, or at least that's one model. I'm sure if we wanted to be altruistic, we could be in the library and offer free charging, or we could have it be charged, in which case then I think we could make an income, or it would pay for itself. But again, part of the many bits of information to explore.
Depending on what
Do
you
you know if
charge.
the city is interested in doing this for their lot or anywhere as well, because there might be like a 2-for-1 kind of a thing we could help.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, because I think that lot would be very close.
Yeah.
Better than
That'd be a
here.
good draw. That'd be a good draw. They
It'd be
could charge
nice to have one downtown here. We want to call this downtown.
I love there was one in our bottom lot and then one up in
Yeah,
the city,
that'd be
you know,
awesome.
one of each, you know.
The first point of contact should be the city to shape. Then it could be something we can partner on.
Yeah,
I mean, in Michigan, there were some free chargers. When we were in Niles, Michigan.
Well, I
and
know
those are cheap for sure. Level.
Yeah, level 3s are the most, and usually we had to pay for those.
Cause I know the county's got them, it's interesting, they first started it over by the 421 building. And now they put it over by the 505 building too, so that's kind of.
Level 2's not gonna,
Right?
I mean, it takes forever.
Lots to learn. Yes.
Going back one notch or two, on the pockmarked sidewalks and crumbling brickwork. After those are repaired or as a matter of normal maintenance, are they being sealed?
The sidewalks,
Yeah.
Sidewalks
I
and brick,
don't think so. Nope,
that'd be something to it.
I'm not sure I was aware that was a thing.
It is.
Okay. Jackie, you wanna take it down?
I did.
So those were my ideas for the special reserve fund this coming year.
Good choices.
Any other questions, concerns? Thoughts?
Okay, I'm gonna move for adjournment. Right, or are we ready?
Sure, well then, if you don't have any other further questions, my question to
Okay.
you is next month, do you want another 6 o'clock meeting or do you just want to talk about it during the regular meeting?
We're just a 7 o'clock meeting. Is that?
Depends on your,
What you find out.
if you haven't, you know, we can do 6:30, depends on if you need more time.
Okay.
If you think you can do it in the meeting, then that's fine.
I think I can do it.
Okay.
I think that's what we did last year, so.
Yeah.
So having no further questions or discussions, then I'm going to adjourn the committee of the whole meeting for Wednesday, April 13th, 2026 at 7:06 PM.
So we don't need to do that movement, stuff like you did this in the agenda.
What?
Did on this agenda, I took it off the main one.
Oh,
Sorry.
well, so, okay, so do we need the action item then?
I still,
Make it-
I still don't
Make
think.
it clean. All right, I'll move for the adjournment.
Okay, so then trustee Schmidt moved to adjourn the meeting, trustee Warren seconded. So all those in favor of adjourning the committee of the whole meeting for Wednesday, April 15th? Aye. Aye. Okay, so then all ayes and the motion passes and we are adjourned at 7:07 PM. Calling to order the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees for Wednesday, April 15th, 2026. And the time is 7:18. So I'm going to do a roll call. So trustee DeRocher, here. Trustee Pika, present. Trustee Pishka, present. Trustee Schmidt, here. Trustee Warren,
Present.
trustee Lazan,
Here.
trustee Scholars. Present also is Executive Director Jason Stolman. Assistant to the Executive Director Jackie Davis. Then we have various staff members, Mary Kelly Marquez, Lori Rex, and Duncan Jones, Paul Silverstein, and Kathy Guidos. So then there's no need for remote attendance. So then I would need to ask for a motion for approval of the agenda. Okay, trustee Warren, motions for the agenda.
Second,
Do we need to take off?
That's after we have the motion and then we can approve, then we have the discussion about the agenda and remove any items.
Okay.
And then we can approve the agenda as amended if necessary.
Okay.
So first I saw trustee Warren motioned and do I have a second?
I did second.
Okay, so trustee Pika seconded. So now we have a discussion. So then do we need things to be removed?
Do we need, under action item 8, item C?
Oh,
Removed.
well, we wrote a check for travel and parking. It doesn't include the food, so we could approve that tonight or void that check and wait until you find some food receipts.
Yeah. How
Okay, so you want to remove that, then we won't approve the,
Or we could just next month approve second check.
it's up to you what you guys would want to do.
We already have a check written for tonight.
She already did the check, it's for part of it.
We can do it tonight. And next week, next time as well.
Okay, I just wanted to check with what the board preferred to do.
okay. So then, the agenda is approved as read, or as written, I guess.
We'll
Okay.
get a vote.
Okay, so then. So I just wanted to be sure there was no amendments then.
Correct.
Okay, so then, I'm gonna ask for a voice vote. All those in favor of approving the agenda as amended? Aye. Any, oh, I'm sorry,
is it-
as written. So any opposed? Okay, then the agenda is approved as written. So do we have any presentations?
Not tonight.
Okay, do we have any public comments? Okay, do we have any correspondence?
No.
Okay, so now we're on to the consent agenda. If I could have the secretary read that?
The consent agenda. Excuse me. 1, approve minutes of the March 18th, 2026 regular board meeting. Receive and file, and here's B, receive and file report for March 2026.
Okay, then do I have a motion?
I move that
Okay,
we
I-
approve the consent agenda.
So it was moved by trustee Lazan and seconded by trustee Warren. So then I'm gonna do a roll call vote. So then trustee Lazan,
Aye.
trustee Warren.
Aye.
Trustee Schmidt.
Aye.
Trustee Pishka. And trustee Pika.
Aye.
And trustee DeRocher. And trustee Stoll votes aye. So the motion carries and the consent agenda is approved. So now we go on to the action items. The first action item, item A, is to approve payment for the period of March 18th through April 15th, 2026.
I
So
move to pay invoices in the amount of $72,588.90. This says for the period of March 19th.
through April 15th, right?
Yeah. Okay, March through April 15th. Including electronic payments and checks, number 11057 through 11106. Check number 11080 is voided. You were trying to trick me up, JP.
No, apparently I'm the one, right?
But I.
She wrote it correctly on the motion and I wrote it incorrectly everywhere else with the 18th, sorry.
No, this says March 19th through April 5th.
Right, but when you look at the agenda,
I get
it says March
We got
15th.
Yeah, it's a boo-boo.
Okay, so
We
may
got
I have a second?
Second.
Okay, so a motion was made by trustee Pika and seconded by trustee Lazan. So then I'm gonna do a roll call vote. Trustee DeRocher.
Aye.
Trustee Pika.
Aye.
Trustee Pishka.
Aye.
Trustee Schmidt.
Aye.
Trustee Warren.
Aye.
Trustee Lazan.
Aye.
So then, the payments for the period of March 19th through April 15th is approved. Then I need item B, approve monthly transfer of funds from commercial checking to operational checking.
I move that we transfer $200,000 from our commercial checking account to our operating checking account. Second.
Okay, motion was made by trustee Pika and seconded by trustee Lazan, so I'm gonna do another roll call vote. Trustee Schmidt.
Aye.
Trustee Warren.
Aye.
Trustee Pishka.
Aye.
Trustee Pika.
Aye.
Trustee Lazan.
Aye.
Trustee DeRocher. Aye. Trustee Stoll votes aye, so motion carries and the monthly transfer is approved. So then we're on to item C. May I have a motion?
You don't have to about.
Mhm.
Sure. I move to approve the 2026 PLA conference reimbursements in the amount of $687.25 for trustee Sandy Levon. Thank you very much.
Second, Schmidt.
Okay, so a motion was made by trustee DeRocher and seconded by trustee Schmidt. Okay, so then trustee DeRocher.
Aye.
Trustee Pika.
Aye.
Trustee Pishka.
Aye.
Trustee Schmidt. Aye. Trustee Warren.
Aye.
Trustee Lazan.
Abstain.
Okay, and then trustee Stoll votes aye and motion carries with trustee Lazan abstaining. Okay, so now we're on to the discussion items. So item A is on page 19 of your packet.
All right. Talked about it a little bit last month, the ALA exhibits. Coming up in June, like I mentioned during the budget discussion, ALA this year is in Chicago, down at McCormick. Cormick and Schmitz, that's a seafood restaurant, McCormick place.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
It's gonna be expensive.
So Rails is offering discounted passes, which is great. And they at least got back to me that we can get those discounted passes up through June 20th, so that's great. We don't have to rush to April if we don't want, so if we can keep having this discussion closer to the time to see what your actual availability is. But at the moment, I had Connie, Sandy, Heather, and Rick being interested in getting the passes. I don't know if you're interested in all, yeah, okay.
There's a chance I'll back out. I have a busy day.
Okay.
Saturday, Sunday would be the only day I could do it.
Okay, well, knowing that we can get the passes up through June,
Yeah, that's
we can,
helpful.
we can talk about it.
How much
next
is it?
month and-
$25 or something?
I think it was 40,
So
but
I
norm-
might be able to put $40 towards.
but the full price was
Okay,
150, I think, so.
So is that only a 1 day pass then?
That was what they didn't get back to me on.
Okay, so.
The person that responded to me thought it was good for the whole thing,
Oh,
but she was gonna double check.
okay. I mean, again, too, like for the full and 50, I would think it'd be good for the whole thing instead of 1 day.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
One would hope.
Well, I would think if you're gonna drive, you're gonna do Saturday and Sunday or Saturday or.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying, of whether you, because if you didn't feel like you got around all the vendors or.
Yeah,
From out here, it's a long drive and
you don't wanna go for 4 hours.
I think, so.
Right.
I'm gonna take the train and Uber over though.
Yeah, that's a fun idea.
They also do have shuttle buses.
Yeah, that's right. You said it last time. Thank you for reminding us.
But anyway, I just wanted to keep it on your radar, but we can bring it up again next month since we don't actually have the April deadline for these passes. So,
Well, I might be interested in going on the 28th.
Are you not heading up to Vegas in December?
I don't know what I'm gonna be doing, honestly. If I get to tell you closer to the time, then that's much better.
Yes, so we will revisit.
It's summer.
Right.
And I'm gonna have a baby. Not me. Be a grandma.
You're in.
So then,
I know, don't I look good?
So it's. Any further discussion or questions on the ALA conference exhibits? Okay, then on to the next thing, item B, radon mitigation update on page 20.
Yes, so
Jason, it's done.
it's done, yay, so yeah.
That's,
That day, they came and drilled all the holes and started it, they came back the following week and finished up. And they left a couple sensors, and the levels have dropped down to the normal and acceptable levels. Per their sensors, but as he pointed out to me, he said they're licensed to install the system, but they are not licensed to have official measuring. So he said we don't have to, but he recommended that we get tested again just to verify by a different source that.
What's the cost of it?
Oh, Jackie, do you remember how much we paid for that last year? It was 2,000 or 3,000, I think.
I mean,
Or
yeah.
maybe 4.
Right.
okay, yeah, I guess.
Even if it's a as a follow-up test? That's-
Yeah. So I mean, we don't have to, we could just trust that it's working.
You've got.
I think Lee took the library one and snuck it downstairs. And it was also reading at a low level as well, so.
Are we required to do radon testing in any formal?
Not that I'm
Basis.
aware, no.
Okay, really wanna give our employees that COLA, so I say no more testing.
I don't think.
That was budgeted out of the special reserve, so.
What? $1,000.
I could go either way. On the one hand, it seems good to maybe officially
Yeah, I should do
add the
random
numbers.
testing.
But on the other hand, if we have the system and their sensors were reading low and we
Maybe
stuck in one of our
I'll
own
get
sensors and
these
it's reading low.
hack it and go down there and charge you 3,000.
So the question I have is there's not even a state requirement, or there's nothing that,
Not that I'm aware.
okay, or even like on when we have to turn in the information, there's nothing like.
I mean, I suppose I can reach out to
Well, I would
the
say.
company that tested us in the first place and just ask them like,
Refresh my mind again, why did we become involved with this project?
because we were replacing the
Testing.
batteries on the
If you
radon.
give a mouse a cookie.
Yep, that.
That's where I was
On
going.
the devices that the library checks out to the public. And it was sitting back. By Duncan and Gail and Mary Kelly, and it had a higher than expected reading. Which is, then I think we put it somewhere else and it also had a high reading, so that led us to get officially tested. Where we
I
discovered.
would suggest that we do not invest in further testing. However, caveat that you somehow discreetly research whether there are any requirements that we have to conduct testing on some annual, biannual, 5
Right.
years, 10-year basis,
Right,
so that we know for the future going forward.
that's my feeling is that I don't think we need to test this year. I don't know that we need to test next year, but I mean, I think somewhere in the 3 to 10 year range, we would need to
retest.
at some point have a follow-up.
And this is at very worst added to your maintenance count.
Right.
Right.
Especially since all the other sensors that are showing normal. Normal
I
readings.
don't really see spending $2,000, $3,000.
Right, I mean, the devices we have are. I think one flaw about them that I read is that they will. Like the official testing people that are licensed to do it, they can clean out their devices so they start fresh whenever they go to a new place. Whereas whatever we're checking out to people casually,
Mhm.
while those devices are fine, they slowly accumulate.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the capability to go cleaning it out. So they're not perfect. But if that, even before, was after previous, is now reading low, and the devices that the installation people had were reading low. To me, that says it has done the job and we are now.
Let's go with it.
But.
Just for
and it seems-
discussion. Can I just ask, just for discussion's sake, and that this may not be a good suggestion, but I'm just curious. Would there be any benefit to reaching out to the company who originally did the testing and identified the concern? And say, we have done our remediation, we did our initial testing. What will it cost us to come back and retest? Will you do that? Because we did all this remediation based on your recommendation, like, is it the full fee again?
Open your
That's-
checkbook.
That's worth.
And
asking.
also find out what they recommend for a testing schedule.
Yeah.
That would be good.
And
That's all they can say, oh,
safety
every
and the
6
health of our.
But I think we should have that not right.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll. Find out some of those things, but in the meantime, we
Ask them if
can.
there's a discount.
Well, that's what, you know, I
Oh,
would, hey, because we're following. They made their money off of us initially, and then so did the next company.
They have to go through the effort to do it again, so.
Did $2,000 for their second time to make money.
Well, they didn't do the work.
Yeah, but they charged $2,000 to tell us what work they did.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it's worth a question, I think.
No, I
one
think
company
it's a
does the
good-
testing, one person does the work.
Right.
But I think they would be able to give us guidance, more importantly,
Yeah.
about going forward, whether, how often possibly we need to test.
Right.
Maybe that's the leading question if they're on you. You have a really good report on with them, then you can say, hey, by the way.
Okay, so then, any other questions on the radiation mitigation update? Okay, so then we're going on to item C, page 21, the board meeting recordings.
Oh.
So that's the link that you're talking, or no? The link would still remain on the agenda, so if somebody wanted to watch it, they would be able to do so. At
Correct.
the time of the meeting.
Yes, so on our webpage, at the top of the section of agendas and meeting packets and minutes, there's a link to YouTube. Oh. That way,
That link.
They're right there. That's
this
the-
is. Oh, we could still. Okay, so I've got two separate questions here. Okay. So one is, do you just want to keep recording and posting them on YouTube? If we do, then we keep using this. This is through Zoom. This is how we're recording
Okay,
the video of the meeting. I haven't actually looked. I think maybe Kathy or Duncan has peeked, but I don't think very many people actually look at our
that was
recording.
my next question.
So Kathy is emphatically shaking her head. So I don't know if it's worth, I like the transparency of it, but also if it's not actually proving much use to anybody, then why put in the effort? But I'm happy to keep recording or happy to cease recording. We are under no obligation to do so. The only obligation we have is to record closed sessions and keep that audio recording for 18 months. After we have approved the minutes, and then we can destroy that with a vote. Yada, like I outlined. But otherwise, we're under no obligation to record. So,
I think it's a good idea to record them and keep them a nominal amount of time, not long, like 6 months or something. Jackie and I have reviewed minutes if there's been a question about something, or we review the recording if there was ever a question about, some of the motions and stuff like that. So it's nice to have it. But I don't think you need 17 years worth of meetings.
so I mean, whatever we have on YouTube, like, I don't think that doesn't cost us anything, so. Whatever we have already recorded and posted on YouTube on our channel, we can just leave theirs. The main question was the original files that we downloaded from Zoom onto our server. The last several years of that are taking up a lot of space. But if we have the recording on YouTube,
Oh, yeah, you don't need both.
I just wanted to verify that you all didn't care that we went ahead and deleted the files off of our server.
But then you go back to my question, so somebody still can be at their house and watch the meetings
Yes,
on the day of the meeting.
yes,
Okay, that's what wasn't clear on.
but based on, if we stop recording, then no, they would. Well, I mean, I suppose we could still do the webinar and just not record it.
But then I just heard you say things are gonna be on YouTube, so how are they getting to YouTube?
So that is a Zoom link. We're using Zoom right now to host the webinar and record the webinar. We
The
can,
recording goes to YouTube, but if we're not gonna record it, they can still watch it on Zoom.
That's what I'm getting to next. They can, let's just say my neighbor wants to watch but can't come to the meeting. Will there still be a link they can watch the meeting?
yes, we can do that, regardless
I
of
would-
whether or not we record
Right,
it.
that's
or
my
not.
only
We can
consideration.
continue to
Not
have
wanting
it posted
there.
as a webinar, correct?
So then my question, so say when we have remote participation, is it that will it have a link to remotely participate?
Yes, that's what we've done.
Okay.
It's that same link.
But I'm not clear.
But I have, through
You
Zoom, I
make
think
a
sent
participant, yes.
you a separate link so that you could participate
Right.
as a panelist
Yes.
rather than a viewer.
Okay, so we're like, okay, so for instance, I know there's been times that I've been on vacation and then I wanted to zoom into the meeting or whatever, but. I know I can't participate, but I'm watching, so,
That should.
Yeah, there's
Then you
my
would-
question too.
okay.
Then you're just, that, yeah.
Got it.
So we can certainly keep broadcasting the meeting. It was just the
But if
two
you-
questions were, do you want to keep recording the meetings? And or can I, since we have all previous recordings currently on YouTube, can we delete the files off of our servers?
Can
Because
we-
they are available on YouTube.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, to the second one?
On the server.
As long as the videos are in YouTube.
Yes.
So then if we need them again locally,
I
we
just
could
want to make
download
sure
them.
Connie's point is covered.
Yeah,
No, I think if YouTube is fine, you don't need them two places.
Yeah.
And then, yes, I think. you-
And then do want
Can
to
I
keep,
just, Duncan, a question?
Yeah.
Is there a reason we want them on our server? It's compromised in some way.
That might be one of them.
Can you imagine a reason why we would want to view old board footage? I have never imagined any scenario in which I would wanna watch it, and I've been here for a long time. Say again?
As long as we have the audio.
So do we ever delete YouTube videos?
I agree.
Think that.
I'm just asking you as the IT guy.
Wait, that's interesting. So there will always be an audio recording.
oh, well. That was part of deleting the video and the audio, I guess. We can, the only audio we were required to
Is the
record and
closed.
keep is the closed session for the 18 months.
I don't really think that we need to keep redundant.
I don't either.
I really don't. I really cannot imagine, unless we had something that was extremely controversial, and then could we direct you to keep something on the server?
That's the way to go.
Right, that's what we would wanna do.
So we currently have meetings going back to August of 2020. Or wait,
We'd probably get rid of those.
Yeah,
nope, sorry,
Oh, there's an
April of 2020. That's probably when you started meeting virtually.
So August
that would make
27th,
sense.
2020.
That's probably.
Right. So
Yeah.
April. Right here. Oh,
that would have
Right.
been,
click on
That
it.
was interesting. How many years? Yeah.
Ah. So April 2020 is probably when you started meeting virtually once the pandemic hit.
Well, because here's the answer to it. 6 views, 5 years ago, 7 views. That's probably when we first started doing it.
Oh, yeah,
And when, that was probably through COVID too.
yeah,
right.
So we might even have been in that account. I know.
So
Can you go to the latest?
Do they keep
two views.
views? Do they keep counts of?
Randy,
Yeah.
Checking them out.
Yeah, it says 18 views, see
We
it?
had 16 views.
29 views, I mean, so some, yes.
That's 20.
so I mean, I don't know how much of that is. Duncan when he posts it.
It should be, because I'm.
Okay,
Well, I even.
so it might be staff watching it. It could be the public.
Well, especially like when we receive FOIA requests, if people are trying to go find something that we're doing
Yeah.
controversial.
The
So,
truth in taxation hearing had 36 views.
Yeah, that tells me that probably.
You know who's looking at
To watch
that.
that, to watch that 2-minute video of us doing.
Yeah, but all the rest of them are all low.
So that goes back to Barbara's suggestion that meetings like that. And budget be retained. And would it be possible on that same vein to say, much like I think you did with the closed session, don't we delete some after a period of time? That we leave a year's worth in the server and delete on a regular basis?
Oh, for the closed session, yes, after 18 months, we,
So could we do
Delete
something
report.
similar with this?
With truth and taxation.
Anything we decide to say, you know, if we want to save the meetings, because people do that. Let's not save them for 7 years.
Right.
Save them for 2 years.
I mean, on YouTube, it doesn't really matter. It was just more of, it was taking up 40 or 50 gigs of space on the server,
Keep
so.
forgetting.
Yeah.
So,
But if we've got it on YouTube, then we can delete it off of our server.
and if a patron
And-
or someone.
Well, maybe there's a handful of views that maybe makes it worth while continuing recording. There's not so many views that if something disastrous happens and a bunch of these recordings go away, I don't think anybody is going to be crying over it, so.
No, like I could see only keeping a year's worth or 6
But
months.
they're on
worth. I don't
YouTube.
see the need.
Yeah.
That's what
There's
I'm
no-
forgetting. You got it.
Limit to,
To Duncan's point, is redundant. But if somebody called the library and said, I want to watch the meeting on November 11, 2025, we could direct them to YouTube.
Yep. just like
That's it.
a lot of the FOIA things, like our FOIA page says, if you're looking for this, go here. If you're looking for this, go here.
I think it's fine then,
To reduce the amount of actual requests.
because it is a redundancy at this point.
Yeah,
Maybe you can get a determination from lawyers to see how long we need to keep that on a rolling basis.
we don't have.
We don't,
to.
I already added, we have no obligation to keep the recording. We have no obligation to record and no obligation to keep the recordings, other than, I think what was in the Record Retention Act, I think it said keep for 60 days after you've approved the minutes, if you're recording.
And
But
we're
the lawyer
already,
said we have no obligation to record other than the closed session.
and it will free up space on the,
So it sounds like the answer to my questions are yes, continue to record. Yes, we can delete off of our server because we've got it on you guys.
Yeah, yes.
Great, okay.
Can I ask a related question?
Sure.
If someone is viewing on Zoom,
Mhm.
can they somehow request to participate if they wanted to do the public comments? No. Yes,
no, yeah, I think.
I'm asking something. Would they ask, I mean, would the request come to you
That would be through the.
through the meeting? Okay, I just wondered.
Is the chat feature open?
So, is there something that would tell you if somebody is viewing right
Yeah,
now?
right now, there's only one participant, that would be me.
Okay.
So
I was just gonna say. there's-
after a certain point, I have lulled myself into not checking that number because it's always just one. Being the host,
So it's usually nobody live,
correct.
okay. All right, I'm just curious.
Do you enable the chat?
I don't know if that,
I attend all the Forest Preserve Commission meetings remotely, and they never enable the chat. They used to, they don't anymore.
I would have to check the settings in
Yeah.
for the webinar, I don't know.
So like I know being a courtroom clerk, it's something I have to monitor the chat all the time and occasionally I've had to chat with people, so.
Yeah,
Like I said, there's nobody ever joining us, so,
yeah.
except for Duncan.
Duncan.
Duncan raised his hand. Hi, Duncan.
Look at that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you can do with that. I don't see any requested chat. Feature here.
Jason's on
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, I think from here within the meeting, I'm not sure. Currently, I'm assuming it's probably a setting
Like when you set up the Zoom.
when you set it up to a lot, so, I mean, we could do that, but like I.
It was just a question. Sure. Yeah, we could have another discussion about it.
All right,
We have a lot.
so then, moving on to the director's report, if there's any other questions or discussion? Okay, so.
No policies, I'm crushed.
Okay,
Here's what the benefits are.
You and Ian must be taking a vacation.
So,
It is on vacation, yes.
okay, so, So 10, director's report, page 22.
Yeah, just a reminder to, there's one left of you to file your statement of economic interest. If you have questions, you let me know. But if you don't fill that out by May 1st, there's a good chance you will get fined by the county.
Okay.
I want to make sure you. Otherwise, Dollywood Imagination Library is coming along.
Yes.
Between the conference, rushing to finish the budget and then being sick. I haven't attended to half the emails about it in the last couple weeks. But I believe I had filled out some of the paperwork before leaving for the conference and we got accepted, so I think we have an online account, I just haven't logged into it yet. But we should be able to go live soon. And probably once I attend the training and log into our account. But one way or another, with including it in our kickoff, for summer reading. But we should be live with it in the next month or so.
That is great. The Dollywood.
Yeah.
Yay,
So, it should be-
I'm so glad, and Connie, thank you for helping to get that up.
My pleasure.
I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
Um,
So I'm curious about the ADA transition plan. So how is that coming along citywide and?
there was an email today, I believe, saying that the city council approved the transition plan. So I assume it was just more of a matter of needing participants. But I would say most of the committee really didn't do a whole lot. We were there, offered the occasional bit of feedback. We supported them in having, so that they could have an information table at one of our concerts last summer. But they put together a plan and a report. I think they posted it on the city's website, but they brought it to the city council the last week, the week before. I think it got approved, so they have obviously miles and miles and miles of sidewalks to repair. I think generally it seemed, if I'm remembering correctly, there was not a whole lot of terribleness. There was, things were in decent shape, but still lots of improvements to make, obviously. But so it'll be, it was intended to be a several year plan because of miles of sidewalk and lots of cost, but so at one point they had a map where people from the public could take photos and upload to the map locations around town where they thought the spot that needed it. I uploaded from our lower level parking lot. So at some point I didn't know how that been put in your budget, but again, another thing I wanted to see if I could find a grant for, but at some point when we are thinking about resurfacing the parking lot downstairs, to try and fix some of the little issues that I found. The lower level, but it was a very long report. It's both interesting and boring at the same time. But I think it's on the city's website, so if you want to take a look at it, that'll open the city's website. Anything else to add, Mary Kelly? Mary Kelly's on the committee with me, but
Nothing further.
we really, it was mostly a lot of the architects and consultants talking and explaining, and there was one very vocal citizen who is a resident who had a bunch of feedback, but other than that, the rest of the community, meetings were fairly quick.
Okay. So any other questions on the director's report or any more information? Moving on then to the department head reports.
Oh, hey, Paul, great job on thinking. I know, just single out Paul, because everybody did so much work on it, yeah. Everybody did a lot of work. I mean, I think we saw everybody here. It was just such a great event. It was so great to see so many people in this library all at one time. That was so great. It was a great event. Everybody seemed happy and smiling and having fun, and boy, was it a great event. So good job, everybody. Paul, tell us about it. Back to you, Paul.
Preliminary numbers, just from the Grove County itself, if we take we resent Grove Counties, at the beginning of the day. And, we set it afterwards, but, compared to last year, so if we combined all of them throughout the day. And then halved it, because that's been coming to, well, and if we subtract about 200. From vendors and setting up and stuff, it's still probably close to over 800. Throughout the day, which is pretty cool. What we do right now, the initial 200 giveaways was the first hour. So.
Hour?
Maybe probably was like, it was the first half hour.
It was so
Yeah.
fast.
9:42, the youth bags were out, 9:38, the replenishment of youth bags were out, and by 10:07, all of the welcome bags.
All the bags were out.
Yeah, so overall, very successful. We're able to get a food truck in 2 days notice. And are in full time, pull out, from technical issues that will get it done at the same. Wasn't working, so it was a bummer, but we did have one step up, we appreciate them just doing a really great job. I haven't gotten back the numbers yet, it's done, from what I saw, it was pretty well up there. The Virgil was good, I did like the real, yeah, so. Yeah, all the vendors that we did, we did send out a survey to the vendors.
Yeah, it was really
good. Yeah, so we're compiling on that and up with it, and like, next month. Well, just to do that overall, I think we went very well. We did have one of our programs, we couldn't accomplish the larger program because the vendors. Still up and we haven't heard from them, so I don't know what happened there, but, yeah, it's like the overall programs were well attended. I think everyone had a good time.
Two things, I received a lot of positive comments about the 3D printer. So, because the vendor next to where I was selling things
Yes.
that were made on a 3D printer. And she would say that, and then just, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
That's great.
and the other thing is, I did hear a lot of positive comments about their food, so.
Maybe they should get considered for the music night.
It will. The nice thing about having to scramble to find a food truck, I made several connections, for the so.
Good.
So we have a lot of new, food and dessert. So I do want to give a shout out to Julie, particularly,
So hard.
awesome job running the whole thing. And Angie and Taylor as well as part of. Yeah, no, the awesome marketing that can.
I felt like Julie and David were everywhere all the time.
Every time I turned around,
They were just
yeah.
all over the place. It was great.
And I hear Bluey was off.
Did you hear that?
No thanks to me.
Yeah, Tom was, believe,
Oh.
you know, just
Oh.
much taller blue this year than that. Great job filling it there.
It's been a whole year. Bluey had to have a growth spurt.
That is true.
They
Do it again.
blueberries.
It was a great event.
Great job to everyone.
So compliments to all the department heads, wonderful reports again, a lot of good details, so thank you very much. Any other questions, anything else any department has? to say?
So you did bids for windows, when is that gonna happen?
It started today.
Okay. That's what it
Amazing. Okay, so anything else on the department heads?
I saw something about getting, name tags.
Something that's the game, that's here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
What is it?
Name tags, I think, I go to conferences, when I do go to conferences, it's kind of fun to see people who have their official name tag from their library. If you
Got a
are,
couple of them,
So we are,
got a couple of them.
I would like.
we have
to-
name tags, but we are upgrading ours to also include our logo.
I don't have a name tag.
Oh.
Since I became a librarian, we didn't, I didn't.
Oh,
You don't have a name. I don't think so. And I bet you don't have any. It's not a big
Do the
deal, but I was like, if you're printing for somebody else, if you still on there.
Serious.
I don't have an updated one. I had to prepare one with the wrong title on it.
Well, all right.
Well, I oughta.
Yeah.
I will
I
make
have
sure
one that's
in,
plain and one that says treasurer.
Mine said vice president.
Oh, I just
Sorry.
think trustee, I don't.
Yeah, I have one that says secretary.
It's
I saw it.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah, I don't want.
And I do have one other question. Are we, I saw the thing about the Park District Story Walk, and it's the first I've seen anything about it. Are
Yeah,
we?
I said the same thing today. I walked in, I'm talking to Paul. I'm like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, I'm interested in just a snippet, like is the library involved in that somehow, or?
yes, Paul, it's been a very slow moving project, but all of a sudden it sped up and moved at the speed of light.
April 27th.
It is, yes, it is the official launch. So last year, Sherry, Dr. filled out the tech grant information. For what a story walk is, if you're not familiar, it's an actual post that's stuck into the ground along the walking path, and they chose Summerlet's Park as the first one. So there's 16 total posts with Park District and our logos on it. And what the response or the library's response is for is the actual story that's in there. So each post is a couple pages and as you walk through the story. So the first book we did choose was Maria had a Royal Llama. And it's both in English and Spanish. So that is the still waiting for the actual things to arrive. But yeah, the Sherry, like I said, put the grants in last year. Just waiting for a while and then hear back and then all of a sudden, the launch date in a couple weeks, so.
Hopefully it comes in by then.
Correct, it should. Yeah, but we're hoping to update the story and forward at least. Depending on.
Will you change out the story for?
Yes, yeah, so there's panels that they lift up and we just put in whatever story it is.
Thank you, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah.
And it's great that they got the grant to do these official nice posts, which is the proper way to do it.
Yeah.
I know at my last library during 2020, when we were trying to think of ways to engage with the public while we were closed, we did the very quick ad hoc way, which was like your yard garage sale sign that we just laminated and put a story on and put it around the circle, which is a very super low budget and not very secure way to do it. But this is gonna be great because it's weatherproof and permanent and nice, so.
Nice.
Thanks.
Yay.
Good job. Okay, so anything else on the department? Then we're gonna move on to the president's report. So since we do not need the committee of the whole at 6 p.m., we're just gonna have the regular board meeting next month, May 20th at 7 p.m. Then the regular board meeting Wednesday, June 17th at 7 p.m. And then Wednesday, July 15th, 7 p.m. The other thing I want to say is with summer coming up, we understand that life happens. People go on vacation or there's big fun things to do this summer. But it's very, very important so that we have a quorum here at the library that you contact Jason and for whatever reason you cannot make it, even if it's 10 minutes before, just so that we know we have a quorum. We have to reschedule if we can't. So, you know, whether you call him or email him, just so that he gets contact and notice so that we know. So. Okay, so that's all the president's report. So then on to the treasurer's report.
My report is very small. We made a little interest this month. That's it.
So then, secretary's report. I have no written report, there are no reports. Okay, so I know we're gonna sort of skip the committee reports and we'll do trustee comments first, since a big committee reports is coming up. So,
Yes.
any trustee comments?
I'd just like a big thank you to the staff Management staff, there's so much detail in your reports, it's just great to get that feedback from you and keep us apprised of what you are doing, and there's some really great things going on, so thank you very much.
Okay, so then, the committee reports, do we want to just segue right into the closed session, if somebody will make a motion? And please,
We gotta get out of here.
okay, yeah, so I guess we're going to have, yeah. Thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Well, wait, in open session, we make the motion.
Right, but we have to wait for them to leave first.
We'll just give them all right.
Yeah. Everybody, you're getting for something.
What's to make that motion though? Take care of that.
Now, do I record this? I don't pause it or anything, or?
You're already recording?
I'm still recording.
Right, you're recording and so we go into close.
You can either just keep recording or you can stop it and then start it again.
Right.
So that it's a separate recording that I can pull out.
Okay, don't stop yet.
I already stopped it.
Well, no, we're still in open session.
Yeah, still in
All right. Late.
That's fine.
All right, so I'll just start again and this part will be short. We'll back it up.
Correct.
Duncan can have it.
No, that's the one.
We are recording. There you go.
Need somebody to make a motion.
I'll move.
Okay, well, you have to read the whole thing, right? You can't just have.
Okay. Move to enter closed session is allowed by Fifth Illinois CS 120/2, C, one, goes paren for the purpose of the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body.
Okay, so I second. Okay, trustee, so motion was made by trustee Warren, seconded by trustee Rocher, so any discussion on this? Any questions or, okay, so then we're gonna do a roll call vote. So, trustee DeRocher. Aye. Okay, trustee Lazat,
I,
trustee Pika,
Bye.
trustee Fishka. Aye. Okay. Trustee Schmidt, she voted aye. Okay, trustees, Warren,
Aye.
okay, and trustee Stoll votes aye. So we're gonna go into closed session. So we have to. Okay, so then we returned to open session at 8:47, so now I'm doing an attendance roll call. So trustee DeRocher, here, trustee Lazat,
Here,
trustee Pika,
present.
trustee Fishka, here, okay, and trustee Schmidt,
Here.
trustee Warren,
Aye.
and trustee Stoll is here also. And also here is executive director Jason Stolman. So then, we now need a motion regarding the action or the consensus that we have from closed session.
I move that the executive director receives 3% increase in salary for fiscal year 27.
Second.
Okay,
Should,
motion,
just 1 second, I'm sorry. I wanna make sure I get this exactly. Was that written
motion
down?
was made by trustee Lazat and seconded by trustee Pika.
And the motion, Sandy, can you repeat it for Connie? I think that's where she's
I
going.
move that the executive director receives 3% increase in salary for fiscal year 27.
Okay, so then I'm doing a roll call vote. On discussion, any discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion, then I'm gonna do a roll call vote. Trustee DeRocher. Aye. Trustee Pika.
Aye.
Trustee Fishka.
Aye.
Trustee Schmidt. Aye. Trustee Warren.
Aye.
Trustee Lazat.
I,
And trustee Stoll votes aye, so motion carries. And the director's compensation is set at 3% for fiscal year 2027. So then. What is it?
This doesn't need a motion.
Right. So is there any other?
I do.
Motion or discussion before the Any other questions before the board?
The one you just now voted on.
Right.
That was number 18 on the list.
Correct.
Yeah.
And who made that? Was that DeRocher?
No,
It was on.
Hassan made the
and
motion
he
and
understood
Saka seconded.
Okay, and then it was a roll call vote and
I got that.
Okay, thank you. So here, any other new business or any other items for discussion before the board? Okay, since there is nothing, then I'm going to move that we adjourn the meeting at 8:50 PM.